Let's see. No blue guys. Whatever. Ooh, robot suits are always fun. Cruties. Select cruties. Fancy lizard. Ooh, big gun. Oh, we can make some deck out of that. Yeah, them got a nice work kit. Hey, look, it's like Squig Boys, kind of. Yep. More green dudes that aren't the best green dudes, but still cool green dudes. Is there gonna be anything good? What? Made to order orcs. Oh, be still, me beating heart. Wag! Welcome back to the Red Ones Go Fast. Old Big Mek here. And you saw right. You heard right. There's new orcs coming we didn't even know about. That's right. In today's preview, so that would be April 21st, 2024, G-Dubs pulled an absolute bananas one on us. You've got to see these. So what this is every week on Sunday, Warhammer community puts out their preview for what is coming in the next week to be ordered on Saturday. And there is sometimes these made to order kits. And oh my goodness, what a humdinger. That is the classic metal Def Dread. This is the model you'd put in a sock and use to, how shall we say, readjust your opponent's attitude if they had really crappy sportsmanship. This model is bonkers. It's all metal. It weighs a ton. It's got this huge claw and saw on it. And yeah, it's just everything orky and awesome. I used to have one of these way back in the day that I got during 3rd edition. And it sadly went away with most of my stuff when I got out of the hobby for a few editions. And oh man, depending on the price, I might have to pick that one up for my 3rd Def Dread just cause for nostalgia purposes. It's stumpy little legs. I just love them. And then the hits kept coming. Look at this. All right, first of all, let's talk about these commandos. These are 2nd edition Blood Axe commandos. These are from before Orks got their modern aesthetic. And you can tell, look at those sculpts. Look at the faces. Look at the guardsman style suits. It's just so nostalgic. I mean, the power choppa. So yeah, these guys were definitely a surprise. I have not seen anything this old come out in a long time. Now they've done like older kits for Old World, things like that for fantasy, but for 40k, an actual 40k made to order kit to be this old is really something. This kit's gotta be pushing 30. And then we also have the Nob set. Now this one I think is hilarious because as you see in the front there, that is indeed the Nob with Wog Banner, which no longer exists in our codex, and they're giving us the metal version here with the classic Nob set. Now this is one of the all-time seminal sculpts and sets for 40k orcs. These guys are so good. I still have the one up there with the claw in my army. I think I've got the one on the bottom left still as well, but I don't have the full set anymore. So yeah, getting the full set of those Nobs, probably a good move. So yeah, that's what we're getting. And again, out of the blue, those commandos are, I mean, those were classic sculpts when I started, and I've been in 40k for 30 plus years. Yeah, that kit has got to be well over 30 years old. Really cool to see. I don't know the legality of them in the game anymore because the new commandos are so different. But you could always run them as regular Choppa boys. Oh man, I kind of want to get them to run in my guard army, to be honest with you. I think it would be hilarious to have a unit of orcs that like went to the Imperial side. Oh, hopefully they're not like $50 or something like that. If they're more like 40, I think it might be worth getting just for nostalgia's sake of having some kits that old again. Now the Nobs, the knobs are going to be actually useful for 40K 10th edition. Those knobs, again, classic sculpts that like were from the genesis of modern orc design, so they're gonna fit right in. They're the older metal models. They're actually pretty chunkily sized, so even size-wise, they should look totally fine with your army. They've all got, you know, boss poles on the back. Your guy with the claw, that claw is a big claw. Yeah, that's a good set. So you're gonna get 1 power claw, and then 3 big choppas, and then again the Nob with Wog Banner, he doesn't actually have a choppa or a claw or anything because he's got the banner. So basically you have a power banner that you use to whack people over the head with. Power stick. Now this is great because knobs all of a sudden are really hard to come by because the Bully Boys detachment looks like so much fun and people want to just load out on knobs and get as many as they can. So the classic multi-part plastic knob kit is getting a little hard to find, but also just variety in your army and things like that. You could even, if you weren't going that route or you wanted to have like all super custom build outs like, you know, power claws and things like that for your knob squads, as far as your knob leaders of your individual units for your boy units, that's a great way to get some in. The Nob with Wog Banner, he's going to be a little awkward just because that unit doesn't exist anymore. But again, there's no reason why you couldn't use him as a regular Nob or use him as the boss Nob in the Nobz unit. That's what I'm doing with my older Nob with Wog Banner in my army. So definitely some options there. Now, you do need to remember they are metal. They were originally on 25mm bases. You will have to put them on 32s. Unless they magically ship them with 32s. When you do put them on, you're going to notice that they're a little short and their legs are a little close together compared to the more modern boys and Nobz, but as far as the rest of their height is actually going to be pretty good. So maybe just put a little tactical mud or rock or whatever on the base to kind of get the height up there, and again, I think they'll fit in just fine.
All right, we've moved over to the workbench so I can show you what I am on about with sizing of the knobs. Now here on the left is a knob from the classic Assault on Black Reach set, and you can see here that from the top of the base to the top of his head, we're looking at about what, 40mm. Yeah, so that is his height. And again, he's on a 25mm base. You do have to put him on a 32, but he works out. This is one of the knobs from the multi-part kit. And now this knob, and again, this is the kit you could buy today. Him to the top of his head. See there, again, we are looking just about 40mm. So surprisingly, very much the same height, which again bears out when you really put them side by side, put the ruler on there. You can see top of the head, top of the head, top of the shoulders, top of the shoulders, very even. Again, what you're really getting is a little bit more dynamic pose out of the multi-part kit, because of course you can put all the different pieces on however you want and make different ones, versus the Assault on Black Reach are Monopose. Now these guys are super easy to modify. One of their arms is actually a separate piece, so changing that arm around is no big deal. And then all the wrists have a wrist thing on them, so you could easily chop the hand and put different hands on them and different things. So these are super, super usable. So if you find Assault on Black Reach Orks knobs, totally usable. And then this is the new knob from the Monopose Boy kit. And now let's do the same thing. We'll put him there. And he is a bit, surprisingly, I think right at 40mm again. Let's get a closer look at that. A little harder because of his backpack and things. Yeah, he's more or less right at 40mm as well. So what you're getting with him is he's got this lean to his pose that the other ones don't have. They're more standard, but you could see it basically more or less goes right across. So the only thing you're really getting with the new knobs is a wider stance on the legs, a little bit bigger feet. Now, I found my metal one, and again, this is the one with the power claw, and the super fun horned head. So yeah, he's not on a base or anything, but what we can do is the same thing. We can measure him from the bottom of his feet here And you could see he is a little short. You're looking at more like 32 millimeters. So like I said, that he is going to be a bit smaller than even the Black Reach Ork. You can put him side by side here. You can see his shoulders are not quite as high. Put him on the same base there. Yeah, so he's a little weedy, a little short. But if you just put some extra on the base, maybe put some extra things up on his shoulder, he should work out. But the claw size is also a bit small. This is more like the claw size on the multi-part boy kit than the Nobz. You can see it's actually pretty close to the same size mechanism on the multi-part Nob kit, but the claw itself is just a little smaller, a little bit different design, but not too bad. Still holds up. So yeah, hopefully you found that useful to actually see a measuring device and go side by side of different kits to give you a better idea of how well they're going to fit into your army, what kind of kit bashing opportunities there are. So as we saw, the brand new modern Ork Nob with the dynamic pose from the Monopose Boys kit is the exact same height to the top of him as the multi-part Nob kit that you can still buy today, is the exact same height as the Assault on Black Reach Nob, who just needs a 32 millimeter base, which is super easy to get. In fact, I'm sure I'll have a link down in the description below to some bases that you can get for that. And I've done a whole video on that, which maybe I'll put up there. We'll see. But yeah, so that's what the Nob kit is going to look like. So might be a little stunty compared to the actual Nobs, but again, if you run them as the Nob in your boy squads and you pull those bigger Nobs out for your full Nob squad, that wouldn't look out of place. You could also build up the base just a little bit, have them standing on a piece of junk or something like that, and they should work out just fine. You only got to make up about I mean, even though we measured at 32, I think if you made up about 5 millimeters, you'd be fine, especially if you added some spikes and things to their shoulders. Plus, once they have their Nob, their boss pole on, they're going to look a little better. Now, those commandos, I don't have any of them, but again, those are on 25 millimeter bases, and their feet don't even reach the edge. Those guys are going to be tiny. We're talking more like this. They'll be taller than Grots, but they're gonna look like Grots, or they're gonna look like Imperial Guardsmen, really, kind of short Imperial Guardsmen, to be honest with you. So definitely a nostalgia sculpt. I don't know how legal or good they're gonna look in the army, but if you want them, you should definitely pick them up. All right, that's going to do it for this video. If you like what you saw, definitely appreciate any likes, comments, subscribes. Everything helps the channel to grow and flourish and make more videos like this and do more fun ideas like having the little machinist ruler and whatnot. And I'm happy to do size comparisons of all sorts of kits, even non-Ork kits, obviously, so that you guys have a better understanding of how big models actually are, so that you can kit bash appropriately. And of course, I'll always be here to tell you how to save teeth on this hobby. So yeah, don't forget to check the description down below for links for your merch and our Discord server, which is completely free, as well as my Patreon. I'd really appreciate it. Until next time, log on!